What does it take to be a champion? Is it hard work, strength, speed, agility? It's more than that. It's dedication, resilience, and a willingness to sacrifice. You have to have the mental fortitude to push past your limits and the humility to accept failure and learn from it. You have to be able to visualize your goal and have the courage to take the necessary steps to reach it. You need the discipline to stay focused and motivated in the face of adversity. All of these traits are essential if you want to be a champion. It won't be easy, but if you put in the effort and never give up, you can make it happen.
Welcome, adjudicators, to another episode of Disputed, where two fictional characters go head-to-head armed with only their advocates, and you will decide the outcome. Everything is disputed.
Oh my God, my friend. Can you believe it?
No.
How long have we been doing this bracket now? It's been a bit. It's been a minute.
I don't want to say it's been a little over a year, maybe a year, maybe 14
Boy.
months, 15 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's just nutty.
Right?
Yeah. So how'd you like that intro there?
I loved it. I loved it. I guess it is a not well kept secret that I love the wrestling videos. So anytime you surprise me, I'm like, yay!
Oh, but we're not done with the surprises. Yeah. So yeah, and I did the voiceover because now I'm getting into voiceover, and I've got my first gig set up on Fiverr. I just did that like yesterday. So
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. And I've been recording like crazy, and editing and putting music to stuff and just trying to make more demo stuff so I can start doing more of that. So if anybody's looking for voiceover, hit me up. You can find me there on mstdn.party/@KissThulu if you want, because I'm on Mastodon now as well.
Pterodactyl.
Oh man, so why don't you go ahead and tell folks who you are?
What's up, nerds and blurs? I'm Damon. I'm father of two, husband of one, and a sensei of 17-syllable silliness. You may know me from such podcasts as Damon Does, in the Stack the Library podcast, and a host of others that we'll probably talk about at some point later in the show. And I am the Woodstock of the Disputed podcast.
Are the kids going to know what that reference is? Thank you, Damon, and welcome, adjudicators. I am Dean. I'm the Snoopy of the show. I will be resting upon the house, blowing leaves up, and eating full-size bones. You can find me on at least a couple of podcasts right now, and if you don't know where they are, you can always go over to podscure.com and take a look to see what we've got there, and check them all out. So now, real quick, last week, or 2 weeks ago, there was no bout. We instead had our championship reveal episode, which leads us to tonight, but does not mean we didn't have a bout to talk about. So, my friend, I introduce you.
Battle Royal, yes! That is fantastic. So is this a battle royal to figure out who finishes in third?
Well, I guess this will show. So we got.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean we got the originals. We got the Walkers, Johnny the Bournes, the
Jason Bourne.
We got you.
Oh, that was a terrible mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. And I'm the look at that! Look at that!
You're working them out.
What? It is absolute. Oh, look at that headbutt by Dean! Oh my goodness! I'm just grateful I wasn't. There goes Dean over the top. Oh, get out of here! Who is that? Oh, with 2 eliminations. What? And I guess well, 2 dudes with suits. I'm
you got Jason Statham.
Jason Statham. Oh, me versus John
Wick. Oh.
That is hysterical. I probably woke up my kids yelling. That is fantastic. That is hilarious.
Keith and Heather Mackey, they worked on that. We kept it a surprise from you. Had to had to show you, and it was excellent. And so
you got me. That was
awesome. So props to you for your 3rd place win.
All right. Woo.
And big thanks to Keith and Heather over there on Twitter at Heather Mackey MAKI 1, or on Instagram SOL Freedom 1010. And they make lots of awesome characters for WWE 2K22. Have been doing it since at least 2K19, I think.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. They started off at least that I recall doing Letterkenny characters. So
they did a great job with Letterkenny. So yeah, I can only imagine what else they've done.
Yeah, they've done some awesome stuff. So Damon, are you ready to get into our dispute introduction this evening?
If you can give me another minute to bask in the glory of my victory.
You need some applause for that.
Thank you. I would like to thank everyone. I could not have done it without help. So,
well, you did it masterfully. You beat the 2 guys in suits, and I couldn't ask for much more. So, but I think I took out Jason Bourne. So
you did. That was fantastic.
Oh man, that was lots of fun. And I think we'll probably have to do something like that, where we, one-offs every now and again of the ones who didn't win up against other ones who didn't win, or the ones, like everybody wanted to see Wayne versus Reacher, and do that one. So I think there's a lot of those that we can do as one-offs in the future.
Or we could have the champ, and we can have the champ defend as well.
Yeah, totally.
So, I mean, you are you look like you're in better spirits. I don't know, that's great for an audio, but you look like you're in better spirits.
New meds help a lot. So
there it is.
I actually have, it has given me room to breathe and see the sunlight over the horizon, and given me some hope. So yeah.
Excellent. As we just
my picture just fell down in the back. Oh well. It was not well put up. But that's okay. I'm okay. I'm well put up. I think.
Yeah.
So are you done basking, my friend?
I am done.
All right, so
this is it. The moment you've all been waiting for. The championship to crown the king of the scrappers. Tonight, 2 terrifying titans of temerity take on each other in a test of technique, timing, and toughness to take the title of champion. You already know their names. Kato from the Green Hornet versus Jack Reacher. Everything is disputed.
Ooh,
that
man.
Was a mouthful.
I love getting that alliteration in there just for you.
I'm a big fan, but man, that was the longest. That was the longest one you got. I've learned to I'm doing learning to cold read,
Yeah.
so I can read the word and then look ahead. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what did you do to me?
Well, you know, I got to do what I got to do. So.
It's fantastic.
All right, so let's. What do you say we introduce our guest for this evening? I will go first here.
Surely.
Returning in all his masked glory, and our first advocate is a no-holds-barred champion of disputes, finding himself undefeated in all bouts his way, hailing from Charlotte, North Carolina, where he currently hosts a Strangeful Things and Castle Rock Historical Society podcast. There are no pseudonyms that can hold this advocate down. Let me introduce our resident linguistic luchador, the master of the mask, Acadia Einstein.
Wow. If I had thought the whole time from the last show to now, I could not have come up with a better intro than that. You guys kill it.
I stumbled over a few words, but in the end, it came out all right. So Acadia, you've proven yourself time and again on this show. Does your game plan change, or are you bringing something new to the table tonight?
I have to.
All right.
I have to, because if you think about the fact that the person that I'm looking at made the same journey I did.
True.
So they're seasoned. I mean, they're tiny. They're seasoned.
Hey.
Damon resembles that remark.
Very much so. Very much so.
I am thrilled to be here, and I cannot wait for this.
Well, it's great having you back, man. I'm so psyched for this evening. So, Damon, if you're ready.
I am. Our next advocate returns to his rightful place in the Hall of Victors by also remaining undefeated by any adversary. He hails from Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, where he is currently working on his own formula for bubblegum-infused guava juice. The streets call him E or F. His mama calls him Evan. Give it up for ya boy, MC Amazing!
Thank you for that intro, sir. Appreciate that. Good to be back. It's your boy MC Amazing in the building. What's going on, yo?
Oh my gosh, that turned out way better than I could have ever imagined. This is fantastic. For those of you who are listening to it on the podcast, shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. Go to YouTube right now. Fast forward to this point in the show, because you know where it is by the time we get to it, because it'll be taped. That's how it works. Go future us. And for God's sake, you have to see this array of characters that are on the screen right now. This is what podcasting is about.
Yeah, man.
So, all right, Ev, got a question for you, man. How have you psyched yourself up for this match? And will you find yourself doing anything different as opposed to your prior bouts?
Well, like Acadia said, I think he pretty much hit it right on the head, man. You got to come with your A game. You got to understand that this person is also defeated all comers up to this point. Like, they're on the exact same level as you. Maybe not exactly, because he's defending Jack Reacher, but you know, well, it'll be all right. It'll be just fine. I've been looking forward to this. I've been thinking about it for like the past couple of weeks. I'm excited to be here. You know, I'm like, yes, I'm ready, bro. Let's go.
You look ready.
Woo.
I mean, he is decked out as Kato. And yeah, that's a great outfit. I mean, amazing.
Thank you.
This is fantastic.
Well, let's get to the nitty gritty here. And talk about the rules. The rules are as they always have been. for the last year and a half or so. Each advocate will get an opening statement for 5 minutes, followed by a rebuttal from their opponent for 2 minutes. After that, there will be questions from the hosts and potentially the audience. The responses to those will get 2 minutes. After that, each advocate will get a 2-minute closing argument. Any questions?
No, sir.
All right, so
Let's get it on.
let me bring up the 5-minute timer here, and tell me if this is showing the right way, because I know it hasn't been in some points.
He's
And
backwards.
is it backwards? Okay, because it's weird over here. I don't know why, because on my screen over here where it's running, it's backwards. It's backwards over now. It's frontwards now.
Yep.
It shows backwards on my screen in StreamYard. So it's very interesting. All right, so let's do this. And if you are ready, oops, wrong one. There we go. Let's do this. Yep, go for it.
Who? Oh, me.
Yes, you. Sorry about that, Acadia. Yes, you.
Good evening, everyone. MC Amazing, Damon, Dean, esteemed guests, my cats, our sexy, classy viewers. I want to submit to you that this entire match is a travesty. Makes no sense to me that somehow the other conference of this tournament was so weak that I'm being forced to fight someone this underpowered. It's testimony to the skill of my opposing advocate that here in the finals, I'm facing the guy who lived behind O.J. Simpson's house back when O.J. was doing all his murdering. What? Sorry about that. Got my wires crossed just a little bit, but I'm back on track. My actual opponent makes more sense, but it's still a mismatch. Is he an accomplished fighter? No doubt. He's skilled, resourceful, dangerous, even deadly. But Reacher tangling with him is so unlikely. The odds of Inspector Clouseau inviting Reacher to his house so Kato can jump out of the medicine cabinet and punch him are so... What? All right. Let's hope third time's the charm, folks. Kato from the Green Hornet represents one of the wonderful times when the number 2 is way cooler than the main guy. Kato joins the ranks of such greats as Sam from The Lord of the Rings, Starscream, Chewbacca, and the Minions. And he deserves it. But none of that's going to help him against Jack Reacher. I hate to dunk on the man, but he's just not capable of winning the fight. Now, sure, Kato's handy, and the fact that his origin has evolved like it has is testimony to how important he is in the space he inhabits. But let's not go nuts. We're not talking about an A-level duo here. Green Hornet is C tier at best, and you cannot talk about Kato without including Green Hornet because he's the sidekick. You know what? Except I was going to go on a whole thing about being a sidekick and having to go everywhere, Britt said, but no, I'm not doing it. Kato wasn't a fucking sidekick. He was the main, and everyone knew it. We all know why he was called the sidekick. Ask David Carradine why Kato was the sidekick. So I am not doing any of those jokes. When I'm talking about Kato from this point forward, I'm talking about just him. He doesn't have a chance, but I'm not going to refer to him as anyone's second. So now that he's first, what's he got going for him? Well, we got to look at the Kato who started on the radio and not just the TV show. So to run down a partial list of his abilities, I will very poorly paraphrase DMX. Rip. We'll talk about the character. Forget about the actor. What is Kato's skill set? Let's add up all the factors. He can fight, invent shit. He built the car. Even though it was canceled, the show's only star. He made darts and smoke bombs and stun guns too. But when he meets Jack Reacher, there's nothing he can do. See, my opponent is going to talk about how skilled Kato is and how resourceful and how much heart he has. And it's no more significant than when King Arthur was trying to explain to the guard in the castle how a swallow could carry a coconut. Whenever you hear someone talk about Kato's intangibles in your head, I want you to think of, it's not a question of where he grips it. It's a simple question of weight ratios. A 5-ounce swallow cannot carry a 1-pound coconut. And little Kato cannot beat Jack Reacher in a fight. Because it's a simple question of weight ratios. If we take away the idea that Kato will run Reacher over with Black Beauty, which, by the way, why wasn't the car green? Take off a few points because he was good at building cars, but terrible at naming them. So I'll acknowledge that if my man Reacher was standing in the middle of the Bonneville Salt Flats and Kato was screaming at him in the car with rockets and machine guns and his fancy buddy in the back seat, Jack would end up on a shirt. But Kato wouldn't do it like that. He'd want it to be, if not fair, then at least even. And that's where it all falls apart because, sure, Kato would decimate a small army of doughy henchmen, but that ain't Jack Reacher. Reacher's fast and has similar skills, and he is, by all accounts, a substantial fellow. 6'5" and 250 pounds of junk food-fueled muscle. Kato's 5'8", 145, and wearing a chauffeur uniform. So if we compare them using BMI, which is the only math I'm comfortable doing, Jack is 50% bigger than Kato. And that's where all things stop for this, folks. The math. Reacher's fought a lot of little fast guys. Rama's gone. Jason Bourne knocked his identity back out of him. Assam, the Bruce Lee clone, Dunzo. And this isn't going to be any different.
Is that it?
Yep.
Perfectly timed. Perfectly timed. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and bring E up over here. And let's see. Come on now. Oops. It always likes to give me trouble. Boom. Nope. Why? There we go. Nope. This one. There we go. And now we start. There we go. Sorry about that.
Listen, first off, I'd like to address that very heinous comment you made earlier about him not knowing how to color. First off, the black beauty. I mean, come on. You're going to have him driving around in a green car. I mean, let's be 100%. You got to be able to make an executive decision. What's better? Driving around in like the green car, which looks disgusting. Let's be honest. Or you're going to go ahead with the black beauty. And I mean, come on, man. All right. Secondly, man, Jack Reacher. Yeah, he is pretty big. He is definitely a big guy. What's he like? 6'5"? Like he's humongous. But he also has a tendency sometimes to make humongous miscalculations. And I think that would actually go in the favor of Kato. Kato is definitely one of those characters that you don't want to underestimate and don't want to just look at him and be like, yeah, I can beat you. Nah, man. He's definitely ready to surprise you at any given moment. I mean, the skill, the speed, the precision. I mean, we're talking about somebody who's literally like you said, he's the main character of Green Hornet. Regardless of what you think, what anybody says, it's the Kato show at all times, right? So, I mean, in this situation, this is just going to be another Kato show. He's just going to have to go up there and show up Jack Reacher. He's going to have to climb that back like Jack the Beanstalk. Jack and the Beanstalk have to go up there and take out a giant. He's got no problems doing that. He does it every single day against other people who have weapons, who have guns. I mean, he's about that life, man. He doesn't care. I mean, unlike Jack Reacher, I mean, which I hate to even bring this up, but a man who was definitely like killed 4 people and then was brought to the brink by a guy with a crowbar. Pathetic. I got to tell you, I almost shed a tear.
All right. Well done. Now was the timer backwards again there?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to fix that one too. I don't know why this dang.
You turn your monitor around.
Yeah, that'll do.
So I'm going to sit on my head. Let's see. All right. So then let's set the 5-minute timer here and go.
Once again, we're talking about our boy Kato. And you know what? In this case, I'm not even going to mention because the fact that Tom Cruise was even playing Jack Reacher is a travesty in and of itself. So I'm going to pretend like that didn't even happen. All right. So here's the deal, man. Kato, as always, carries all the weight in any given fight. And he is somebody who fights with an active handicap every single fight. He has to carry Britt. Sometimes other people nearby. I mean, Britt usually just sits back there talking, and here comes Kato. He has to back up everything Britt says. I mean, it's it's pretty embarrassing, to be honest, you know, to have to be like, be like, oh, I'm the Green Hornet, but I'm gonna let my manservant handle it for me. You know what I'm saying? It's and I mean, unfortunately for Jack Reacher, this will be one of those situations where he's just another goon. He was just another goon that Kato would have to take out. Now, let's be honest though. Jack Reacher is quite capable. I mean, 100%. He is definitely more than capable of like bringing a fight to Kato. He's exceptionally skilled. He knows how. His stuff. Whoa! What is this? Oh man, that is not cool. Excuse me, everybody. Apparently, like my camera's experiencing the same kind of energy I am. Hold on there. So, whoa, hold on a second. Save it till after the match. All right. Anyway, like I was saying, we have to deal with somebody who, like Kato, who is absolutely focused. He is a focused warrior. He goes out all the time. Let's be honest. I mean, I hate to bring something like this up, but when Jack Reacher gets involved in Margrave, is it because out of some kind of sense of duty, perhaps? Some kind of like, longing to bring to justice no. The only reason he gets involved is because his brother got killed. I mean, honestly, let's be honest, like that's the only reason he really got involved. And I mean, Margrave, I know, probably appreciates him stepping in, but I mean, if his brother hadn't been involved, you think he would have actually done it? Probably not. Kato, on the other hand, goes out every single night, risks his life fighting bad guys all the time. We're talking guys that are twice his size, just like Jack Reacher. So, I mean, he's pretty experienced. I would say he knows a little bit of something about killing giants. I think he knows something about that. Because, I mean, when you're like the shortest person in the room, everybody's a giant, right? So you have no choice. Every single match think about it this way. Every match that Kato's ever fought has been at a disadvantage. All of them. And somehow he just keeps winning. It's mind-boggling. Or is it? We're talking about the guy who's basically Bruce Lee on crack. Like he's got the mechanical, the martial arts skills, the strategy, and he's a great babysitter. Look at Britt. Britt's fine after every fight. Can you imagine having to protect somebody in every fight, every single fight? I can't like, just be like, oh, I'm just going to leave Britt over here. He'll be fine. No, he has to save Britt actively, even though Britt's the one who initiates that stuff, So we're talking about somebody who not only protects people, he protects Britt, he protects like the people in the city. He even technically protects the police from themselves, because remember, the police think that he's a bad guy. They think that him and the Green Hornet are bad guys. Every single time they got to go basically ingratiate themselves to villains in order to break the case every single time. Now, I don't know why they keep falling for it. I'm not sure why that is, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So in closing, I would like to say, yeah, man, Kato, is definitely more than a match, I think, for Jack Reacher. Unfortunately, no matter how tall Jack Reacher is, I think he's going to end up coming up short on this one.
All right. You got 45 seconds left. I'll go ahead and mark that here. And we got a little wave out from Twitch over there. I don't know who that is, but JBXK, thanks for the wave.
Nice.
So let me bring Acadia back over, and then I will bring up the 2-minute timer. Oh, I thought I would. I don't know why it's giving me such grief. Okay. Stop that one. There we go. No, what the hell? Stupid thing.
Oh, the technicality. Oh, the fun of dealing with technology when it doesn't cooperate.
There we go.
Oh, all right.
I'm going to reset it. There we go.
Just another goon? I couldn't even hear anything after just another goon. My man Jack Reacher is not just another goon. He's the end boss of goons. Super genius, riding the bus, sure. Kato rides around his town fighting crime. Obviously, he's not great at it because he doesn't have to go anywhere else. He never finishes, whereas Reacher goes to a town, cleans it up, off to the next town. Waffle House to Waffle House. Just fighting people, catching chairs, making friends, and then leaving them because he's a lone wolf. That's his lifestyle. Just he's saving the world one bunch of drunks at a time. Now, you brought up Brit a few times, and I'm going to say this, and this is kind of a timeout. I want everybody listening. What would really happen if Kato and Jack Reacher met is that they would look each other in the eye, and without a word, they would knock Brit out and then leave and go do something fun because Brit sucks. Let's just face it. Other than that, the arguments are always the same arguments. Resourceful. Yes, resourceful is if you happen to have a giant hydraulic press like the one that killed Terminator 2, yes, you could hit the button and squish Reacher. But if it's just your body, there's nothing you could do. Kato could stand on top of Reacher's head and jump for 100 years, and nothing would happen to Reacher.
Oh my! Did you need to finish up that thought?
I mean, other than the fact that we were talking about fighting people, and I seem to remember that Kato, not only did he not even get to fight Batman, but he had to have a draw with Robin.
Oh, times are hard.
He did it. He said it. He actually said it. I can't believe it.
I was wondering if that was coming or not.
He said it.
Oh man, had to have a draw with Robin. Okay, so now's the part where we get to ask y'all a question. So let's see. I think I'm supposed to have a question here. So the theme of this entire scrap has been, as you've seen with each episode, is kind of put two in a wrestling ring and let them go at it. And let's put it in wrestling terms. What's going to be Kato's initial move, and then what's his finishing move?
You know what? Kato's initial move, I would probably suspect. I mean, you've seen that knife hand of his, man. Right there. You put that right there, like just about anywhere above the neck, you're donezo, bro. Eye, cheek, neck, throat, wherever you're going, like it's over and done with. And
can Kato reach that high?
Can Kato reach that? Yo, man. Listen, man. Have you seen that little guy? He's got hops, man. He should be in the NBA. He's got Derrick Rose hops, man. Well, old Derrick Rose hops. But as for that finishing move, have you seen that? Yo, when he gets you down to his level, you've seen that devastating elbow he hits people with? Yo, you've seen it a million times. Deadly, bro. Deadly. Every time. That's the knockout move every single time. Yo, that's it's like when you get hit with the rock bottom and the people's elbows coming next. It's just like, oh man, he's definitely getting the pin after that one, baby. It's over. It's over after that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would say, because remember, like if you ever saw, like remember when he was when they were interrogating that one guy in the Green Hornet show that nobody watched, like like Brit just looks kind of like, yo, man, show him what the deal is. He just has like the knife hand out, and they're just like, all right, okay, I'll talk. I got it. You got me. I'll tell you anything you want to know. Even the threat, just the threat of him doing this is enough to like be like, all right, man, I'm good. You were talking about, I mean, if you had just put it that way from the beginning, I would cooperate it a little bit earlier. So yeah, man, I would say those would be those would be it, man.
So that. I mean, that sounds similar to the Reacher. When he walks into town, he just stares that guy down who's beating his wife or girlfriend or whatever. Yeah. And he just stares at him. Doesn't say a word. So that's,
hey man, I'm having a bad day.
That's the Reacher knife hand is the stare.
I'm having a bad day, man. You know how it is.
It's all good. And by the way, anybody out there, I know there's 5 people watching out there. If you've got questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat and we'll get them on the screen for you. So, Damon?
Oh, wow. The biggest thing, the weight class, obviously they have weight classes for a reason, but Kato got here. So, and
Like the original UFC.
Very true. So how does Jack Reacher avoid being how does Jack Reacher keep Kato from becoming the Hoist Gracie of the Scrappers tournament?
Well, I'd like to illustrate that by bringing everybody's minds back to the movie Bloodsport. Having nothing to do with Jean-Claude Van Damme, I want you to remember when Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds had his turn. And he was going to fight that guy that was incredibly skilled and was ready to knife hand him right, just take his eyeball out. And all he did was just walk across the ring and bash him on the top of the head and pound him into the ground like a cartoon. That's the move. Where you going to go? You tell me, where do you go to get around Jack Reacher? Reach is in his name. You're not going to get past him. So as long as he still has his arms attached to his body, that just cartoon bop on the top of the head will end things. That's how he got past all the other little fellas. I mean, Rama climbed him like a mountain. Then he fell off and died. Jason Bourne shaky cammed his way all up my boy's ass. But he still ended up on the ground. And poor Assam, who was like one shadow person away from Kato, who's we're all talking about Bruce Lee. We know what we want it to be. Assam fell. Why would it be any different, Damon? How could it be any different? I'll ask you one question. Stand in the middle of the ring. You have to take a full strength Mike Tyson punch out uppercut from one of the 2 people in this match. The person you choose is the person that loses.
All right. I don't know what to say to that, Damon.
I don't either. I don't either. If I had to choose between these 2 to get punched in the face by, I just want to make sure that all my affairs are in order.
Exactly. Your wife is going to check out that life insurance policy.
She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you, baby."
Oh man,
Right? That's terrifying. It's supposed to be a fun thing, man. That's terrifying. That's the stuff horror movies are made out of.
I mean, just think about it. If they were both lined up on you, and one got one side of your chin, the other one got the other,
like a Mortal Kombat juggle.
Yeah.
I look like a Rock'em Sock'em robot.
Oh man. Oh. Well, even though we've got 6 people watching,
Look at this.
Yeah. But
Ask questions, people.
Yeah, ask questions, please. Please ask questions. Do you have any other questions, Damon?
Oh man, I don't at the moment. This just popped in my head, and it is the championship round. Do either one of you guys have a question for the other? I'm talking about the advocates. A question for the other.
All right, go for it, Acadia.
Acadia.
I want you to just explain to me the kind of strength that you need to drive Britt around and pretend he's the boss of it. Like how much can you swallow? Like, is that where your power comes from? Your inner rage?
You know, one of the best things to have when you're in a fight to the death, patience. And in order to like deal with like driving somebody around who's like basically dead weight from place to place, to like pretending like you're second banana, you got to have a boatloads of patience. You got boatloads of patience, and you got to have poise. You got patience and poise. And Kato's got that in spades. And you know, that's how fights are won. You know what I mean? By like waiting for the right time to strike, not necessarily taking every shot you can take, you know, but waiting for the right ones. And apparently, you know, Kato sometimes, you know, he has to go off on his own. Those are the right times to go off. He comes back. He's like, all right, that was fun. I went and saved like a bunch of monks from the Chinese army. Let's get back to work here in the city. So yeah, man, like it's all about patience, man. All about patience.
A little patience. You got any questions for KDE?
Yeah, and this is kind of might come off as being a little irrelevant, but do you think that if Jack Reacher and Kato were the same size, that what do you think would happen in a situation where they're both like where there was no like strength, like strength differential?
With a size mismatch like that, I don't know if Kato would be able to move as well as he does with that much more bulk on him. But I would say it's 54-46 in favor of Reacher, only because he has military training on top of the martial arts training. But it would be an incredibly different fight. An incredibly different fight.
Yep, razor thin margin, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I do the military experience. I mean, especially because considering that Reacher is an MP for duty stations that are for special forces, where he's got to be able to handle arrests of guys who are very skilled. So he's got to be super skilled himself. So I've always thought about
one more
that.
point. He'd get one more. It would be 55-45 just because Reacher has killed so many guys. And
Yes.
Kato, he's got a code. He's not killing everybody. He's knocking them out and then tying them up or shooting them with a dart or
He's a Buddhist, isn't he?
emitting cummerbund and all the other shit that he has. He's not killing them. He's a good guy. People with masks. We're good guys.
Well done. Do you think that restraint that Kato displays could be to his advantage when being able to cut loose against somebody like Reacher?
I mean, to a certain degree, but again, look at it as you could have a lot of patience, but if you're Indiana Jones and the big rock is coming, what's your patience going to do for you? Wait until the rock is really, really close before you jump out of the way. You only have two choices: move or get squished. And Reach is like a bad doctor. He's got no patience.
It reminds me of a fight, like a boxing match, pretty famous boxing match. You guys might have heard of it before. It's Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman. Hitting him with the old rope-a-dope. I mean, George Foreman was obviously a bigger and stronger competitor. I mean, obviously, and Muhammad Ali knew that. So what does he do? He basically just lets him tire himself out. He just lets him tire. And we're not talking about like George Foreman was no like amateur. He's not a rookie. He's a pro boxer. He is a pro boxer with pounds. Like, listen, Muhammad Ali knew what would happen if he got hit. He got hit a couple. He's like, bro, I cannot get hit like that again. I cannot get hit. He's going to kill me. So what's he gonna do? He's got to use what he has. He's got to hit him with the old rope-a-dope. What happens? George Foreman loses the match. George Foreman loses the match, regardless of how big or strong or how skilled he thought he was. In the face of Muhammad Ali, that doesn't mean anything. And this would just be another version of the Foreman Muhammad Ali fight. Like Kato standing over Jack Reacher, he's looking out. I don't understand what happened. He's like, get up! Like,
The George Foreman grill. So why don't we go ahead and go to the closing arguments? Because let me. It's going to be E going first here. I'm already in there, and boom.
in closing, friends, I would like to say, what else is there to say? I mean, we've got Kato, the best babysitter in the world, going up against Jack Reacher. I mean, yes, Jack Reacher is an MP. Yes, he has military training, but let's be honest, like Kato is world travel. They're both world traveled, so there's really not a whole lot of difference in that. But like the difference is that Kato, once again, is somebody who has to overcome insurmountable odds all the time. Like that's just his way of life. Like Jack Reacher, of course, can like basically like he can stare down people, but it's because of his size and stature, right? Kato doesn't have that advantage. He has to prove himself in the ring all the time. Like he has to prove himself. Otherwise, like people are going to walk all over. They're going to try to walk all over him, but they'll find out like you're stepping onto a giant spike. It's Kato. It's Kato, man. We're not talking about like Assam or Bruce Lee. We're talking about Kato. Basically, all the best parts of any given fighter all put into a small package, ready to explode at any given moment. And I mean, my gosh, like weapons or no weapons, it doesn't matter. Like he will take you out like that. Like, I mean, if you ever remember, like when they were interrogating that one guy and they said, okay, yo, man, I told you everything I know. All right, cool. Britt just goes like this. Bah! One punch to the face, the dude is out. Okay. And once again, got to bring up the fact that Reacher almost died to a guy with a crowbar. Not a gun, not a chainsaw, not a flamethrower, with a crowbar in a pool. He almost got drowned in a pool by a guy with a crowbar. That guy was like half his size. Are you kidding me? At this point, any argument against Kato beating Jack Reacher is a huge reach.
So you're saying the Green Hornet show could have been called Adventures in Babysitting?
Yeah. You know? That's like Extreme Babysitters Club.
Right. Okay. Katie.
All right, well, in this big battle of Jack Reacher versus the crowbar, I guess I don't have a lot of final points to make except for the fact that I don't think Kato could take a crowbar to the melon and just shake it off. And it doesn't matter to me how many other times he had to fight off adversity, because if you shoot somebody with a little bullet, that doesn't make them less susceptible to a little bit bigger bullet. Like you can't build up an immunity to a beating. Doesn't work that way. He's going to get what he's going to get. And if you go in a macro sense, you said, okay, well, we have the entire world. Yes, Kato is going to build a bunch of stuff. And could he use his famous patience, just like the Inspector Clouseau Kato, and stay hidden in the silverware drawer for 7 years until Reacher finally opens it and Kato springs out and shoves a knife right through the bottom of his chin? Maybe. But probably he'd get bored and go, I want to go fucking fight the dude. And then he would get squashed. And I'm sorry that you brought up Muhammad Ali. I'm sorry. Because you brought him up and I didn't want to say it, but I didn't know I was going to come around to somebody that was sort of Bruce Lee adjacent. But I have to tell you the quote. When asked what would happen in a fight between you and Muhammad Ali, Bruce Lee said, see this hand? It's a little Chinese hand. He'd kill me. That's it.
Well done, both of you.
Man.
Man. I knew that this was going to be a brilliant match just because I love you two guys so much and your ability to talk the talk that you do. I mean, and completely different styles. So it's fitting that one of you is Reacher and one is Kato because you're completely different styles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You both bring it wholeheartedly, and I love you guys.
Amazing. It's amazing. I think you kept us apart because you knew if we were together longer, we'd have the show.
Well, I just wanted to tell you I am stepping down. No, we will definitely be taking some time off after this year and a half long bracket.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, love you guys. You guys are great, and I couldn't ask for a better ending to this, regardless of how it turns out.
Right.
But now that the dispute is over, it's time for you folks out there to go vote. You can go out to disputedpod.com/KatoVReacher, KATOVREACHER, and vote for your champion. It's I don't know how that. I mean, I've got I'm a big Reacher fan. But I've always been a Bruce Lee fan. Even since before well before I even knew about Reacher. So I have lots of love for both of these guys, the characters and the actors. This is a great finale. So Damon?
There will be no winners, just somebody's going to end up in second place. It's just
I say we all win regardless. So.
Right. And we had the knife hand versus the cinder block hands. We had the three-legged luchador versus the mountain madman, mountain of a madman. And we had the badass babysitter versus the Waffle House warrior. It was incredible. Like I had to physically breathe because it was so intense. It was so good. It just a contrast of styles, not only with not only with the characters, but the advocates themselves. It was a perfect symphony of it was a perfect symphony of debate. It was incredible.
But I think the quote of the night is because you can't become immune to an ass beating. So, that's a great quote. And I don't know if you wrote that down, Acadia, but or if you just came off the top of your head, but it's great. That I should have a plaque that says that.
Maybe that would be the next disputed merch.
Yeah, there you go. Definitely.
Hate up yourself to my ass beating and everything is disputed.
Oh man. So guys, E, why don't you tell us where everybody can find you and whatnot?
Well, as always, it's me, your boy MC Amazing. Thanks a lot for having me on the show again. Appreciate that. Always good to be here. I love doing the stuff, doing the debates. Honestly speaking, I know this is kind of like you said, like this doesn't really answer the question, but like this like being on here has contributed a lot to like some of my other endeavors, like kind of like coming off the dome, like trying to in spur of the moment kind of situations, especially in the workplace. So thank you guys for that.
Very cool.
Yeah, like if you guys check this out, I actually in the workplace I won the Extra Mile Award this year.
Nice, good job.
Going
yeah, congratulations.
They're like, with that fist bump, bro. Let's get it.
Ooh.
But yeah, find me on Twitter at MC_Emazing. I'm actually on Mastodon as well now. Follow nice. Dean over to Mastodon. Man, can I give you guys the link for that later? Because I forgot what it
is. it's a little harder. I mean, that's the thing it's cool, both cool about Mastodon and a bit tricky about Mastodon is they're all separate servers. And so like I'm on mstdn.party and then there's a mstdn.social and there's all these different servers. So it's kind of like them. Yeah. So yeah, definitely give that to me and I'll put it in our show notes.
Awesome. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/emazingxp. That's twitch.tv/emazingxp. You can also catch me on TVFGC News. I'm the guy who's going. I used to be the guy who was the anchor, but we're going back to doing the news sections, and I'm going to be the anchor again for TVFGC News. You can also find me on another podcast called Input Output, where we talk about fighting game topics, and we're all fighting game enthusiasts, so that's like basically all we talk about. I'm also thinking about doing one on basketball because I've been really deep diving basketball recently, and I found like my favorite player is Jimmy Butler now, so that's real cool. And just generally, like, that's pretty much it. Like, thank you guys for giving me an opportunity, and as always, I'm happy to be here.
Of course, thank you for being here, Acadia.
I would like to thank you, Amazing, because your outfit, your energy, everything, you took this as seriously as I hoped, and it would be an honor to beat you, and it would be an honor to be beat by you.
The feeling's mutual, sir.
This was the pinnacle of it. As a matter of fact, you can find me at Acadia on Twitter, and that just find it because I don't remember the other ones, but I'll find you there. But I spent most of 2022 preparing and recovering from disputed podcasts. So now I suppose I can go back to Strangeful Things and start working on that. And then Castle Rock Historical Society, we've decided that we're going to be super cool and take the initials and change the name of it to Curse. Because the other one's too damn long. So we're also, if you're in the Charlotte area in February, we're going to be at Mad Monster Party, along with Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger himself, and from American Horror Story. It's going to be a good show.
Cool.
Right in Charlotte. We will have a table there, and I mean, I just thank you guys for the opportunity. Remember that I am still doing my radio play of the sad but hilarious Fortunes of the Donner Party, and I expect you all to have a substantial speaking part during that show. So get ready for that. But I appreciate you all. I appreciate the opportunity. I love doing this, and I cannot imagine a better final than this. Could not imagine.
Agreed. Well, Damon?
Yes. So I guess we're not actually having another scheduled bout because we're going to have a championship announcement. So we'll be back in 2 weeks to let you know who the winner of the championship is, and make sure you tell all your friends. Hey, and matter of fact, tell your enemies, since you're going to probably run into them too, and tell them to go vote. To go vote and make this a turnout that's worth that as this debate deserves. So until next time, I'm Damon.
I'm Dean. And remember, everything is disputed. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the episode. We are now asking you to go vote for your champion. We want to thank our advocates for their amazing defense of their champions. And finally, we'd like to thank the musical artists who